So then I say, hey there, I'm Brandon. Thank you, thank you. You guys have been a great audience tonight. I do have one more question for all of you, though. What the fuck is this? Well, look at this. After around 4 years of waiting around, he finally decides to show his stupid face again. So in case you were unaware, on June 5th of this year, SEGA released a small video of what is presumed to be a teaser for a new up-and-coming mainline Sonic the Hedgehog game. And don't get me wrong, I was super excited. However, I'm a bit worried as well due to the fact that the past titles haven't really met the standard of good. And because of this, I got to thinking about what a new Sonic game would actually be like. So to start this off, let's go through what information we're given so we can kinda see where this game might be heading. Looking at the teaser, which mind you is only 30 seconds long, I've discovered that there's pretty much nothing to go off of here. So the video starts with Sonic running. Cool, there's some effect following him as well. What does it do? Probably something. Then we're shown some symbols, which could mean anything, but again, I don't know, and that's it. Now, I'm sure we'll see more of what's to come in the future, and once a full trailer is revealed with gameplay and the whole 9 yards, whatever I'm about to say in the next 7 minutes will look like a f***ing joke, but I don't care, let me have this one. So, if it wasn't completely obvious, we can't really rely on any sources to tell us what the game will look like, so instead I'm going to give my on what would make this new entry actually good, since, you know, they haven't been that. That's right, baby, I'm going to be talking about what I think a good Sonic game should be like, and I'm sure with my knowledge and understanding of game design, it'd probably be fine. Alright, first, let's set some ground rules that need to be followed when crafting a new entry for this hedgehog. Starting with number 1, the game should stay primarily 3D. And I don't mean your Sonic Colors 2.5D segments, no. You can have those, but they can't take up half the game. Sonic Team needs to prove that they can make Sonic fun to control in 3D like they have in the past. If all goes well, I want people to realize it can work as long as it's implemented correctly. Number 2, with keeping 2D segments at a minimum, that means no classic Sonic. I don't care if people like him, the only time I ever want to see him is in his own games. Why do Sonic the Hedgehog games need 2 of him? Rhetorical question, stupid, they don't. And no, it isn't because of nostalgia catering, I really don't care about that unless it's taken too far. I just feel like keeping the game at a 1 Sonic limit would let them focus more on how that 1 Sonic controls and could give the spotlight to some other characters as well. And also, having 2 Sonics is just really fucking stupid. Like, it made sense in Generations, the time travel thing, but after that point it just kind of felt like a waste of potential. Instead of any other character being playable, it's just Sonic again. Okay, and finally, number 3. Give the other characters something to do, because Jesus Christ, they have done nothing in a mainline Sonic game since 06. Making some other characters playable would be nice, but just having them do something other than cheer Sonic on would go a long way. And there we go, this will be the starting path to making a quality Sonic game, and I'm sure everyone will agree on that. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that making a game about this blue hedgehog is easy. I'm sure there's many problems that arise when it comes to developing these titles, but that being said, it's not an excuse to produce a shitty game that people will be spending their hard-earned money on. SEGA may not be the biggest company, but they are definitely still up there, so quality I feel should be expected, and critiques are necessary for learning how to improve. I would know. Oh hey there, I'm Brandon. Damn, you're ugly. Yeah, I'm still working on that. So, in the event of crafting an enjoyable platforming experience, I believe there are a few quotas that need to be met. Each one varies in importance, however, they are basic foundations of what is needed for a Sonic game to actually work. So let's discuss each one and how to do them correctly. Alright, so the first thing every game needs is an interesting theme. What's the game about, and how is this going to be portrayed? Every game before has had one, whether they were all interesting is another topic, but regardless, they had a theme. Sonic Forces had the conquering of the whole planet, Sonic Lost World had the Lost World, Unleashed had the werewolf thing. You get the idea. We need something that will stand out and show the audience what kind of situations they're going to be dealing with. And from the looks of the teaser, it seems Sonic Team already knows what that will be, so they already have that down. However, its interest is yet to be seen, as well as how this is going to be displayed. But regardless, it needs to stand out and be apparent on what it is. We'll just have to hope for now that Sonic Team can actually pull that off. Okay, the next topic here is an engaging story, which is usually a hit or miss when it comes to Sonic games, but is very important nonetheless. It's hard to describe the direction the story should go when there is no information to reference, however, as long as the characters stay true to their personalities and we get a little more screen time for the rest of the cast, I'd say it'd probably be fine. I still have some faith in Sonic Team as they've shown themselves to be capable, if not very often. On to the third criteria here, which is probably the most important part that undoubtedly needs to be here, the fun gameplay. With every entry of the mainline Sonic series, the thing that gets bashed the most by the fans is the controls. Whether it be a problem with the movement, like being too automated, or an issue with the moveset, like having an awkward run button, there always seems to be a disagreement with how Sonic should go from point A to B. Thus, I think I've come up with a pretty good idea that Sonic Team themselves haven't even tried, called See What Worked with Previous Sonic Games and Incorporate Them while also trying to improve upon them. For example, Generations had a great control scheme with fluid movement, and it felt good to run around the levels. Why not use that while fixing the little issues it had to make it even better? Or, just make good controls. Now, if we were to add some new abilities to Sonic's arsenal, which is probably important, then we have to make sure they flow well with the speed. What I mean is if pulling off these moves slows Sonic down too much, it'll break up the pace of the game and just overall get very annoying to use, especially if they're necessary for getting through the stages. But they also need to be useful and not just shoehorned in for the sake of making it feel new. It's hard to say what kind of moves they should be, however, making them accommodate well with the level design would definitely be the best way of going about creating them. Now, as for the levels themselves, that's pretty simple. They need unique themes and an assortment of obstacles that produce a challenge by slowing you down if you mess up, but also being avoidable if the player knows how to deal with it. Basically, just understand how Sonic moves and create a course that flows well with it while also bringing a challenge. Okay, so, moving on to our fourth topic here and its own problems with how it's been portrayed with the previous Sonic games, the gimmick. These are things like the custom hero and forces, the Werehog in Unleashed, and the Wisps from Sonic Colors. Essentially, features added to change up the gameplay while also being able to give the game its own identity. Now, a lot of people like to say the gimmicks in these titles are all bad and shouldn't even be there. However, this just isn't the case. A gimmick can help the game stand out from the others and even make it more fun when incorporated correctly. Again, look at the Wisps. They did exactly what they were supposed to, be eye-catching and keep the flow of the gameplay consistent while also being different and fun to use. Now, I will say a bad example of this would be the Werehog from Sonic Unleashed. When transformed into it, you can no longer go fast, which is why people enjoy playing Sonic in the first place, and on top of that, the mechanics of the Werehog aren't even that fun, while the levels tend to drag on a lot longer than normal. But here's the thing though, the Werehog isn't a bad gimmick concept-wise. This is something that had potential to be enjoyable, but unfortunately wasn't due to the way it was executed. So again, I believe a gimmick for this new game is definitely needed, as long as it doesn't break the flow of the game and it is interesting enough. And for our last piece to make this game the best it can possibly be is for it to have good music. Now, while this isn't as big of a deal as the other quotas we've discussed, it's definitely very recommended, and honestly this is the one I worry the least about. Sonic Team may blow ass when it comes to designing good video games, but man can they make some outstanding pieces. Every soundtrack from the Sonic franchise is some of the best music I've ever heard, so I have faith in them on that part. And there we go, we talked about every piece necessary to crafting a good Sonic the Hedgehog game, so just slap that all together and there it is. I know I could have gone deeper into it in terms of story and the basic functions of Sonic's controls, but I kinda wanted to leave that more open to Sonic Team and create something of a reference guide instead. And I'm aware my critiques are assuming the game will be similar to its predecessors. It could be an open world exploration game for all we know, which actually sounds badass, but it's probably not gonna be that. Now all that's left to do is to wait for more information and trailers. This title isn't supposed to be released until 2022, so we definitely have a long wait ahead. But I do hope Sonic Team gets their act together and actually makes something of quality, whether it follows my advice or not. And I'm sure many will disagree with what I had to say, which they probably should. I know nothing about game design. Well, I guess I could always learn. There's nowhere like the present, they say. Maybe I could take someone else's work and use it as reference material for learning game design. Yeah, this.